Hey, what's going on, you guys? My name is the Raptor, and for my final video of 2021, we're gonna do something a little different, but not completely. As we all know, Death Battle has just finished its 10-year anniversary season, and throughout these 10 plus years, we've seen a wide variety of characters from comics, video games, anime, cartoons, movies, and even more. Many of these characters are beloved by so many fans across the world, and today I thought it would be nice to celebrate that in a way, and go over my favorite characters that have appeared on the show. What I say about each character will be in regards to both why I like them and what I thought about their time on Death Battle. So of course all of this is completely opinionated. It's just me saying what I think of some characters and what I think of some Death Battles. These character picks are not going to line up with everyone else because, duh, they're my favorites, but feel free to leave your favorite characters that have been used on Death Battle in the comments below. Also, I will only be picking one character per franchise, mainly because if I don't do that, there would be quite a lot of comic characters on here. You all know that's what I'm most into, so this way we'll have at least a bit more variety. With all of that said, let's get started. So in 10th place, we have Dante, son of Sparta. This is one of the many characters that Death Battle actually introduced me to, and while they've introduced me to a lot of characters that I really like Raiden and Guts and Spawn and Yang, etc., this is the guy that I think has really stuck with me over the years. I love the concept of him and his universe. I love how he's a total hothead, but also a genuine badass because of how overpowered he is. He just has the perfect combination of strong abilities and stellar personality, and that makes him such a fun character to watch and follow. And as you guys probably could have guessed, because Dante vs. Bayonetta left me with such a good impression of Dante, I did indeed really enjoy the episode. It's not perfect in terms of analysis, but the animation is still one of my favorites that they've ever done on the show. I go back to this one all the time to relive that sweet spot of Death Battle nostalgia. And even if it wasn't super enjoyable, I thank it for introducing me to two awesome characters. I wouldn't be surprised if Dante came back one day, but I am very pleased with the one episode he's gotten. In 9th place, we have Goku Black. Now I want to make something very clear. My favorite Dragon Ball character changes quite honestly all the time, and Death Battle might be a reason why Black is at the top right now. But regardless, at this point in time, I absolutely love this guy. Like I said in my Death Battle Season 8 ranking video, I really do love this type of character where he's just guided by his own unending narcissism and lust for his over-the-top desire. It's one of the villain tropes that's not always done super well, but it definitely works with Black. He's the opposite of Goku in so many ways while still confident and powerful, only here it's completely recontextualized for a villain, and it's awesome. And I talked about this also in my Death Battle Season 8 ranking video, but I love Goku Black vs. Reverse Flash so much as an episode. It is currently still my favorite one they put out in the most recent season, and probably my favorite Dragon Ball episode they've done as well. The animation is incredibly well done and full of life, the analyses are so fun to watch, and it has a certain personality that really no other episode has. Despite the power difference, this is one of the best matchups I've heard in a long time, and Death Battle delivered with it. This is one of the main reasons why I think back on Season 8 so fondly, because of this episode and how it was done. In 8th place is Harry Potter. I don't think I would ever say that I'm the biggest fan of the Harry Potter franchise on the planet, but it's one of those series that I grew up on and still am enchanted with to this day. And Death Battle has only ever used one character from it, so that makes this decision easy. Harry is one of the most relatable guys you could ever meet. He's an unlucky child who's been put into this amazing fantasy world and kind of just has to figure it out. It's incredibly satisfying to watch Harry grow up and become more confident. He's one of the better examples of how to do a straight man character. He's the most normal out of everyone, but is still an interesting protagonist, and I love it. Now, in terms of Luke Skywalker versus Harry Potter, I unfortunately do not like this episode all that much. It absolutely includes two characters that I love and will love until I die, but I think Death Battle could have done a much better job analyzing them, and the explanation is literally Wiz and Boomstick just saying what happened in the animation, and that's it, which still really annoys me. It is a Season 1 episode, so I kinda give it a pass, but still, the point is to say what I think about it, and it's just not a great episode to me. Hopefully Harry Potter can come back one day, or at least we can get another character from that series, Gandalf versus Dumbledore, but either way, still love Harry. In 7th place, we have Kakashi Hatake. Like with Dragon Ball, it is so bloody difficult for me me to just choose one character from all of Naruto. But again, at this point in time, I think my heart lies with the 6th Hokage. I love how chill Kakashi is, especially when you compare him to all the extreme personalities of the other characters. It's a very nice contrast. It also contrasts with how much pain and suffering he's experienced. You can tell they've put a lot of thought into his tone and emotional responses, and he works so well as a powerful but not too powerful mentor character. And the episode that he's in, Obi-Wan Kenobi vs. Kakashi, is an absolute delight. It's still my favorite one of season 7 and one of my favorite Naruto episodes in the show. The matchup is so unique and interesting, and the episode uses that to its advantage to give us a lot of witty writing and such a well done battle. I don't think it's any secret that not all Naruto episodes are done as best as they could be, but I'm so happy to see a character as great as Kakashi get an episode that he deserves. In 6th place is Sonic the Hedgehog. Yes, I am very basic for just picking the main character from the Sonic franchise, but I really cannot help it. Sonic was one of the only video game characters that I idolized growing up. I always had a thing for speedster characters in popular media for some reason, and naturally I just gravitated towards the blue blur above most other game icons. Sonic doesn't really grow or change that much personality-wise, but his journey from humble beginnings to fighting crazy cosmic threats feels natural and satisfying. He's a character you just love to play as and experience the story with. Unless you find him annoying, which if you do, I honestly completely understand. Game Sonic, of course, was in 2 episodes, those being Mario vs. Sonic and Mario vs. Sonic 2018. The first Mario vs. Sonic obviously doesn't have the production value of today's standards, but it's still one that I look back fondly on. It's such a staple of early Death Battle, and I do find myself going back to it every now and again. The new one, however, has much better production quality in pretty much every regard, but there are more specific things about it that bug me. Like how both of them got lowballed by just unforgivable amounts, among other things here and there. Still, when it comes to the spectacle on its own, it fits well enough with episode 100 in my opinion. Archie Sonic also got his own episode fighting Wally West Flash, but I'll actually be bringing that one up again later, so I'm just gonna move on for now. In 5th place is Ben Tennyson. I watched a lot of different cartoons growing up, most of which superhero related, but there were a select few original cartoon characters that I thought were awesome, and Ben 10 is probably at the top of that list. I loved keeping up with the original series and Alien Force and anything else I was able to watch. I played a number of Ben 10 video games and collected some books and comics that included him. I just thought he was the coolest guy ever when I was a wee lad, and I was always entertained by the current story he was a part of. But now I have to talk about everyone's favorite episode, Ben 10 vs. Green Lantern. Do I like how they analyzed Ben in every way that they did? No, I do not. Do I like how they put all their best arguments for Green Lantern winning in the Death Battle cast and not in the actual episode? Definitely no. But even with this episode's failures, I will admit that I can still get enjoyment out of it. Green Lantern is still analyzed well, and the fight animation is well done from a technical level. It just has a lot of little negatives that really add up for me. So ultimately, I do wish that Ben, and Green Lantern for that matter, got to be in a better episode, but it's fine, I guess. In 4th place, we have Poe the Panda. I don't think I'll be offending too many people by saying that Kung Fu Panda is one of my favorite movie franchises of all time, animated or otherwise. And a big part of that is how well its protagonist is handled. Poe goes through some of the most mature character arcs I've ever seen in a kid's series. And on top of that, they made Poe a fun character that doesn't really ever get ruined for me. Everything he does and accomplishes in his movies feels earned, and it's hard to find a more likable character that you'll always be rooting for. And everyone who's watched this channel before knows that I adore Iron Fist vs. Poe. Not just because Poe got featured in it, which was already pretty damn awesome, but also because they nailed his character and what he's all about, and the same goes for Iron Fist. The analyses, animation, and overall writing brought everything to the table that I wanted from it, and it proves how well Death Battle can handle other kinds of characters. I really don't have much more to say. It's just a really solid episode with really awesome characters. Skadoosh. In 3rd place is Grandmaster Yoda. Star Wars is one of my favorite things in the world. It's just as simple as that. And no character better represents my love for the series than Yoda himself. Aside from his unique design, personality, voice, and speech patterns, which I love, Yoda is the kind of character who is more in tune with the Force than pretty much anyone else, but is still prone to failure every now and then. He's the most badass Jedi you could ask for, but he's not perfect in regards to combat or his personal philosophies. And that makes him so interesting to me. It shows that there really is no such thing as the perfect warrior. And again, his personality and skills make him amazing, without question. And I am so happy to say that Yoda vs. King Mickey, in my eyes at least, was a complete success. This may or may not be my favorite Star Wars episode they've ever done. Obi-Wan vs. Kakashi, like I said, is also amazing. But either way, it fully embodies the personalities and tones of Yoda and Mickey, and I just cannot stop watching the fight. It's perfect from beginning to end in my eyes. I was waiting for Yoda to come to Death Battle for so long, and thankfully this episode lived up to my hype and beyond. In second place, we have The Flash. I really wanted to make a definitive choice between Barry Allen and Wally West for this list, and while I probably do like Wally more by the tiniest of margins, I felt it necessary to include both of them to properly show my love for The Flash in general. Like I said, I love speedster characters, and Flash is the speedsteriest of them all. Both Barry and Wally have some of the best moments and stories in DC Comics in my opinion, and they are honestly what made the concept of super speed so awesome. With all their side powers and their admirable traits, The Flash is just one of those feel-good superheroes. I love seeing him on screen or on panel, anywhere. Looking back at Barry vs. Quicksilver is so weird to me now that we have two other Flash episodes that are so much better. This one isn't terrible, but it is pretty boring, a major landslide of course, and the characters are thoroughly underrepresented. Wally vs. Archie Sonic, on the other hand, is simply great. I remember thinking it fell below my expectations a bit because I thought they could have gone even further than they did, but looking back on it without focusing on my previous expectations, I cannot deny that this is so much fun. The analyses do such a great job outlining how broken these guys are for the most part, and even if the animation wasn't everything I wanted, it's still quite the thrill ride, which is what I really want anyway. I don't think I'd ever call this episode one of my favorites, but it is good. It's definitely very good. And finally, in first place, we have Spider-Man. I have come to the conclusion that Spider-Man is probably my favorite comic book character at this point, and maybe even my favorite character of all time. This guy for me is relatability incarnate. He's the kind of person we all want to be, becoming the best version of yourself using the power that you have, and making a difference even when times get tough. He goes through so many things that nearly all of us have gone through in some way, and it's that amazing balance of his citizen half and his superhero half that makes for a likable, super cool character that stands out among the rest. He is no doubt one of the best written superheroes. Spider-Man only has one episode at the time of this video's release, which of course is Batman vs. Spider-Man. Compared to today's episodes, yeah, this one is not at the same level production-wise, of course it's not. But as a season 1 episode, it is surprisingly still very enjoyable. This was the first episode of Death Battle that I ever saw, and it was so well made that it got me hooked on everything else the show had to offer. It doesn't go too deep into specifics or anything, but it's still somehow awesome to hear Death Battle analyze these guys. And the animation is still one I like to watch, even today. Both Spider-Man and Batman mean so much to me, and it warms my heart that Death Battle put in the amount of effort that they did with this one all those years ago. But anyway guys, those are my favorite characters that have appeared on Death Battle. I am really happy to say that I enjoyed a good number of the episodes that they were in. It's just really awesome when that happens. But now I want to hear what your favorite Death Battle combatants are, and what you thought of the episodes they were in. Let me know down in the comments below. I'd really like to hear what you guys have to say. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like. Subscribe if you could too, that would be so great. That would really help my channel out. We are so close to 4,000 subscribers. It would be amazing if we could hit that early in 2022. But regardless, thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, that's it for me. I will see all of you guys in the next video. Peace out.